A Laurel County man finds out how much time he'll spend behind bars after pleading guilty to driving under the influence and hitting and injuring a teenager.
Police continue to look into what caused a fire that killed a 2-year-old boy and seriously injured his mother and sister. The latest on their investigation.
Following a meeting with several University of Kentucky students, UK President Eli Capilouto says a controversial mural inside Memorial Hall will soon be covered up.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. He says his client is sorry for what happened. Today, a Laurel County man was sentenced for hitting a teenager with his van while under the influence last year.
Terry Mullins pled guilty earlier this month to assault and DUI. Deputies say Mullins crashed into the teen on US 25 and then took off. Our Kristen Kennedy is talking to Mullins' attorney. She tells us how long Mullins will spend in prison in our top story at 5:30.
In all, Terry Mullins will spend 11 years behind bars. His attorney told us he is remorseful for what happened.
If you were able to talk to Terry today, he would express remorse for the actions that led to this incident.
Conrad Cessna told us his client, Terry Mullins, is ready to move forward. He pleaded guilty in court on an assault, DUI, and escape charge. The first two charges stem from a September 2014 incident where Laurel County deputies found Mullins, they say, passed out drunk behind the wheel of his van with a backpack attached to the front grille. They say he seriously injured a teen who was riding his bike when Mullins hit him.
He has children. He knows that he made a very grave mistake, and fortunately, the young man wasn't killed. That was the victim in this incident. It's easy for me to say this could have been a lot worse, but we're all very fortunate and very happy that the kid was not killed, as a result of this accident.
Cessna says the Commonwealth accepted the recommended minimum.
11 years is a long time to anyone. Mr. Mullins in a wheelchair, as you noticed, so he's not in the best of health.
Mullins' DUI charge got him 30 days behind bars. That will run concurrently with the assault charge. In Laurel County, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
And as for the escape charge, Mullins was sentenced to 1 year in prison. That time will also be served consecutively with the other two charges.
We're tracking a developing story now out of western Kentucky. State police in Callaway County say they have arrested a man they believe is responsible for a quadruple homicide. The murders happened back on November 17th. Troopers say that 21-year-old Pascal Aureliano shot two of his relatives and set fire to their home, killing the couple's two children. Detectives met with Aureliano on Saturday and say he was injured. He was taken to a hospital and arrested today. Aureliano is charged with burglary, murder, arson, and tampering with physical evidence. New tonight, Lexington police are trying to track down a man wanted for shooting a man in the hand this afternoon. It happened about 12:30 on Eastland Parkway and Jennifer Road. Police tell us the suspect robbed the victim and then shot the victim in the hand. The victim was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police are still trying to figure out what led up to that shooting.
I believe it was something actually happened outside on the street in a parking lot, but like I said, it's too soon to tell right now, and the investigation just started.
The victim told police the suspect got away in a black Camry. Police have very limited descriptions of that suspect.
Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused a fire that killed a 2-year-old boy last week. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Franklin County. The fire happened about 1:45 Friday morning at Country Hill Apartments in Frankfort. The 2-year-old Demetrius Johnson died in the fire. His mother and newborn sister were seriously injured. Right now, Frankfort police say they have no reason to consider the fire suspicious at this time, but they say it could take about another week to figure out what caused the fire because of how badly damaged the building is. Over the weekend, Demetrius's father told us his wife and daughter are improving at a Cincinnati hospital. In Montgomery County, police are trying to identify a man accused of robbing a hotel. Mount Sterling police say this man robbed the Days Inn Saturday night. No word on what the man got away with, but police ask that if you know who he is, to call the police department. And in Garrett County, deputies have charged a man they say escaped from them twice. The sheriff's office says Lancaster police arrested arrested 31-year-old Jason Lear after he broke into a home on Lakeview Drive. We're told Lear was complaining of leg pain as police were taking him to the jail. Police say when they stopped to check on him, he escaped and ran into a nearby field. Police were able to chase him down and re-arrest him, but they say when he was being booked into the Lincoln County Detention Center, he escaped again. He was later arrested in Lincoln County.
After a cold weekend in the Bluegrass, we're starting to see temperatures slowly climb. Some. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at that forecast. Chris?
Yeah, something better than nothing out there. We're going to get on a lot of sunshine this afternoon, or we were. Sun is set now, and expect a quick drop in those temperatures after a day starting in the teens. Right now, low and mid-40s showing up across the entire area. Corbin, Frankfort, Jackson, Lexington, everybody with a partly cloudy sky that is out there. Just a little high cloud cover, nothing to get too excited about. How do we look rolling through the evening? Looking pretty good, albeit on the cold side. We'll be into the low 30s by the time we roll in to between 9 and 11 o'clock. Mainly clear skies, a little high cloud cover like what we've seen at times today may be out there. Most of the thicker overcast, though, on your Defender radar network well off to our north and northeast. So locally, not a whole lot going on. That means nice travel weather, not only for tonight, but into our Tuesday, our Wednesday, and likely Thanksgiving Day before some big changes blow into town this weekend. We've got an ugly looking storm system that I'm tracking when I come back with the 7-day forecast here, guys, in about 10 minutes from now.
A controversial mural inside a building on UK's campus will soon be covered up. That move comes 2 weeks after students expressed their concerns about it.
UK officials say the mural in Memorial Hall shows the history of Lexington, but they also say something about it must change. New at 5:30, Mike Linden is talking to the university's president about what's next for the mural.
I didn't know this was here, because if I knew this was here, I probably wouldn't have came here, to be honest.
Inside one of the University of Kentucky's most iconic buildings is a mural mired in controversy.
And I was standing over here and I just was looking at it, and I was like, is that really what I think it is? So then I read it, and then I kept looking, and I asked someone else, I said, you know, those slaves?
UK officials say the mural inside Memorial Hall is a depiction of the history of Lexington.
It was painted in the 30s at a time when our campus was very different, and our full understanding of history was quite different.
President Capilouto compared the mural inside Memorial Hall to the lyrics of Old Kentucky Home, which he says were changed due to the racist nature of the lyrics. But he says much like the song, something about the mural must change to reflect the current times. Former UK graduate student Gareth John has written several papers about the mural. He says despite the controversy surrounding it, it needs to be looked at in context to the time it was painted.
Does it have a place? Yes, it does, but as a piece of art that needs to be placed in its historical geographical context. And for that, it's a very difficult issue, I realize, to deal with.
While there is no specific timeline to cover the mural, President Capilouto says it will be covered, quote, soon. In Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
President Capilouto says once the mural is covered, the next step is to find a way to preserve the mural and potentially move it elsewhere.
Millions gone and dozens of families left penniless. How did it happen? We have some information tonight on a con man linked to a large number of fraudulent schemes.
He's a damn big crook, and he put on a good show.
They must not have a soul or a heart or anything.
This couple is talking about Michael Krasniak, also known as Michael Crosby, the man who stole more than $27,000 from them.
How can you do this? I just met you. And how could you do this to our family and all these other families that you did this with?
Crosby has been linked to several wide-ranging investment schemes that scammed at least $20 million from victims. He lured investors in with promises of substantial returns and claimed to have celebrity endorsements that would ensure a project's success.
Mr. Crosby continually sent them statements indicating how their investment was doing, and then through email or phone contact would give them a status of what was going on.
The statements were fake.
There's a difference between a risky investment and a fraudulent investment. A risky investment is risky, but a fraudulent investment, the individual is telling them lies, sending them false documents, and telling them things that are not true.
The Sabatas are angry because they weren't the only ones to lose money in their family.
But my mom and dad, they lost pretty much everything they have.
In fact, they lost $100,000 in savings.
I trusted this guy. I guess I was brought up to trust people, and he wasn't to be trusted.
Where did the money go?
You know, Mr. Crosby was spending it faster than he could get it in. Spending it on himself, I might add.
Postal inspectors say always do your research before entering into a financial relationship.
A little digging, you probably could have found out that he had some mail fraud history.
Also be careful of promises of big returns.
They're promising 18–20% interest on your investment in a very short period of time. That is a big red flag that you should step back, take a breath, do a little research before you hand over that check.
Michael Crosby was sentenced to 12 years in federal prison for mail fraud, money laundering, and wire fraud.
Good news.
Kentucky Sports Radio host Matt Jones says he will not run for Congress next year.
And the Democrats are scrambling to find someone to challenge Senator Rand Paul for a Senate seat. Bill Bryant has the details in the bottom line.
Good evening. Kentucky Sports Radio host Matt Jones says he will not run for Congress in Central Kentucky in 2016. Jones was sought out by the Democratic National Campaign Committee to consider the race. He even spent time in Washington at a candidate's boot camp. He postponed his decision once, but today Jones made it official and said a campaign for Congress by him is a no-go next year. He says his decision is more personal than political. Jones said he took the idea seriously. He spent the early fall considering all aspects of running. Jones did go on to say that at some time in the future, it is likely that he will seek public office. That leaves Kentucky Democrats looking for a challenger for Republican Congressman Andy Barr, who will be seeking a third term in Washington. Southern and Eastern Kentucky Congressman Hal Rogers is encouraging doctors to prescribe pain medications that are more difficult to abuse. Rogers is pushing healthcare professionals to prescribe so-called abuse-deterrent opioids. He's asking the Obama administration to give doctors more information about their options. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says more than 16,000 people have died of painkiller overdoses in the last 2 years. Senator Rand Paul spending some time here in his home state during the Thanksgiving week. Paul is a candidate for re-election next year, while also seeking the Republican nomination for president. Democrats are scrambling to find a challenger for Paul in his Kentucky race. It was widely believed the state auditor Adam Edlin would take on Paul, but then Edlin lost his bid for re-election and now says he is stepping away from politics for now. An upset over the weekend in the governor's race in Louisiana. Democrat John Bel Edwards defeated Republican David Vitter. Now Vitter has announced that he won't run for re-election to his U.S. Senate seat, touching off another battle in the bayou. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Consider it an early holiday gift for drivers. Gas prices just keep falling as more people hit the road for Thanksgiving.
Great timing for that for many people. AAA tells us that gas prices in Kentucky have gone down 17 days in a row. Right now, the average price per gallon in Lexington is $1.92. I'll tell you, I saw it at $1.84 near the station here today. The national average is $2.07. AAA says drivers can expect some of the lowest gas prices for Thanksgiving since 2008.
Well, we're traveling for the holiday season, visiting a relative here in Lexington, and we were glad that the gas is at this price level and makes it more affordable to travel.
Yes, it does. Drivers tell us they expect gas prices, though, to go up again in the spring.